627 when I dial in.
Make me sweat. Make me lose my breath. Make me sweat.
I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to roll something up. Tonight I'm rolling something. I need some drink in my cup. Hey, I'm in the mood to pour something up. I wanna go missing. I need a prescription. I wanna go higher. Can I sit on top of you? I wanna go where nobody's been. Have you ever had fun like this? Oh, we're gonna roll up tonight. Black lights, spaceships flying. Unapologetic when we pull up tonight. Roll it up tonight. We getting pulled up tonight. We gon' pull up tonight. Deeper. Let's show you see stars. Let's show you elevate. Let's show you I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to put something up. 'Cause we gon' roll up tonight. What's in these four walls? Sexy, my love. Don't miss this roll call. Did you hear a word? Show up, show up, show up, show up. Pull up, pull up, pull up. You Mr. Nasty, I clean it up. Go where nobody's been. Have you ever had fun like this? I wanna go missing. I need a prescription. I wanna go higher. Can I sit on top of you? We gon' tonight. Black lights, spaceships flying. Unapologetic when we fuck up tonight. Don't get up tonight. We getting fucked up tonight.
You're now listening to the smoothest DJ of the South, DJ Dre Smooth.
Let's show you elevate. Let's show you need us. I feel like falling in love.
Locked and loaded.
Sexy product on my body, boy you got it. Hit them dry lips while I ride it. Got me acting hella thotty, so excited, so exotic. I'm a seasoned professional. Squeeze it, don't let it go. Tease it, no self-control. I got time today. I got time today. I got time today. I got to wait to come on.
Locked and loaded. YOLLO Group Services takes you to Essence Music Festival, NBA All-Star Weekend, CIAA, Urban Ski Weekend, and more. Visit www.goyollo.com for more details today.
Dre Smooth, making moves.
Slide to the right, slide to the left, right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now flex, come on, flex. Come on, back it up, then turn to the left. Slide to the right.
My name is Richard Franklin. I'm running for city council. As you see, we have a lot of neighborhoods and areas that are like this. Picking up trash. You look at the vacant house that's right there, overgrown lot, have a senior citizen living right there. When I come out every day, this is what I see. We also have where the city is supposed to have no dumping. This used to be an apartment behind me. They tore it down, but the owner has not come back and cut it. I've cut this land for 2 years, but I'm running because, hey, I shouldn't have to cut this. We should hold people accountable. You can also smell things that are dead out here. We have a snake issue. We also have an issue with our roads not being paved. These roads have been like this since 2016. It's been on the list to get paved. It's on there this year for 2025. It was on there for 2024. And as you can see, this road has not been paved. As a matter of fact, 14th Court goes all the way from East Thomas to Eden Ridge to Fountain Heights. And it hasn't been paved. And we deserve better for District 9. And on August 26th, vote Richard E. Franklin Jr. for Birmingham City Council.
Welcome everybody to Travel Talk Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. As you can see, and as you know, last week we were supposed to have the District 9 City Council candidate on to come talk to our YOLLO family, but the mayoral elections for Birmingham were on at the same time, and we all decided, you know what, let's pivot and show those candidates that are in Birmingham, our listeners that are in Birmingham, let's allow them to watch that mayoral debate. And I know that there are a number of comments out there from people, and we'd like to know what those comments are. So hey, put those comments in the comment section. Let's see what those comments are. But again, tonight we're going to be talking to Richard Franklin Jr., who is running for District 9 City Council seat. And let me say, he was on about a month ago, but we're in the final throes of this election. And you know, you don't, in elections, you don't let up. You have to work all the way up into election cycle. And that is something that Mr. Franklin expressed to me when I asked him. I said, hey, do you still want to come on and talk to the people? You know, after last week's, we pivoted and went over to the mayoral debates. He said, I absolutely do, because it's not over until it's over. So he is out still trying to work and reach as many people as he can in District 9 and talk to them and connect with them so they understand what his platform is and what he's trying to do. And as he said in that intro video, that he is trying to make District 9 a better district to live in. And I can so much relate to that. So again, before we bring Mr. Franklin on, I want to go ahead and remind everybody that our for the Alumni Getaway Cruise, HBCU Alumni Getaway Cruise, if you are still dragging your feet, you're still trying to figure out what you're going to do, time is of the essence, and you are running out, because that cruise deadline, we're not going to be taking any more payments. We're not going to be doing anything else. What you see is what you get. That's what we told Carnival. What you see is what you get. And after our final payment due dates, unless you come in with, your full payments or anything like that, you're just gonna be out of gas. You're gonna have to see. You're gonna have to check out the event when we get back. And who wants to do that? If you've never been on this event, this is one of the many events that we do during the HBCU Alumni Getaway Cruise.
And if you're by yourself, no worries. Just follow after me. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. And lean back, put your hips in it. Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gon' roll your shoulders, do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the...
Again, this event, as you guys know, I'm not going to lose my voice tonight because I'm not going to get overly excited about it. Again, that event is our last, that is the event that we close our travel season out. It's December the 14th through the 20th. We're going out of New Orleans. Out of the port of New Orleans, we're hitting three ports this year: the Costa, Belize, and Cozumel. If you've been on Travel Talk before, you know I have talked about this extensively. You guys need to go ahead and go to the website, check it out, go ahead and sign up. And we have something, if you say, well, your payment plan is too tight, we have something called FlexPay, as you can see there. It allows you to buy now, pay later. Pay now over up to 24 months is the option that they have for you. All right, so again, tonight we're talking politics on Travel Talk Tuesday, and tonight we have again City Council candidate for District 9, Richard Franklin, and we're going to bring him on right after this.
I just want to, go around to the neighbors,
Okay.
in District 9, and just tell how long you've been over here, things you've seen change.
I've been here probably about 6 or 7 years, probably, in this house, in this particular house right here. Haven't seen a whole lot of change. Everything's still about the same. You got the overgrown lots, abandoned houses. all over the city. Potholes in the street. You know,
Yeah, because I know on our front street, 14th Court, it hadn't
yeah,
been paved, and you got the dodge pothole.
yeah. I can't even remember the last time it's been paid.
All
All right.
What about the behind us?
Behind us used to be some apartments. They got abandoned once the apartments got closed down. The lots became overgrown. The city came out here maybe one or two times and cut the lot, but hadn't been back since. And that's a problem. And that's a problem because you got rats and stuff out there now living out there now.
As
A
you
lot
know,
of
I was
rodents.
spending a
Yeah,
lot of my money cutting it,
correct.
and the city's supposed to be cutting it.
Right.
Have you seen any elected officials come around since all of this been going on?
I hadn't seen it, but I've heard they've supposed to be out there cutting grass now. But it's an amazing thing. They don't start cutting till election time come around.
As you know, I'm running for city council, and I feel the same way.
Right.
That we should have to wait till
Right.
election season for things like this to be done.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I hope I have your support.
You do.
On the 26th,
I'll be right there, family and all.
we deserve that.
We do.
So welcome back to Travel Talk Tuesday, Mr. Franklin. Thank you for joining us again tonight. As you guys can see, he is out there in the streets. He's talking to the people, connecting with them, and trying to and let them know who he is, so that when they go into the ballot box, they don't know. They know his name, and they know the face, and they know the person. So I'm gonna open the floor for you, Mr. Franklin, and let you introduce yourself again and talk. And we'll get into some more specifics here in a little bit.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and let you reintroduce yourself to those tuning in with us tonight.
Well, first, my name is Richard Franklin. I'm running for Birmingham City Council District 9. I'm a lifelong resident of Birmingham. Was born in the Ensley area. I live in the East Thomas area now. District 9 is comprised of 19 neighborhoods, six schools, 18 parks. It's the If you just look at the median income, you put it all together in 19 neighborhoods, I think it was roughly $23,000 per year. Not a good situation that we're living in, not deceiving us. If you live in this area, we have a lot of entertainment that we built up in our district, but none of the money goes into our neighborhoods. If you get off one of the exit, Finley, we used to have a McDonald's. The McDonald's was torn down. Nobody ever talked about it. It's just gone. We had a Popeyes chicken on up on off when you get off Arkadelphia where I live. It's gone. We also have a Marathon gas station. It's gone. We had a Pilot Flying J. It was gone. They said it bankrupt. We did work together with a lot of the neighborhoods, and we did it on our own. We're not any elected officials, and we have a travel place now that's there. But if you go on down, we have a bank that's closed. You have Thomas Apartments. They're still abandoned. There's a gate around it. And if you go on up, you go into Pratt, and we know how these areas are. They've been this way. But if you get back on the interstate and you get off 20th Street in Ensley, Ensley was once a thriving area. Ensley's not thriving anymore. A lot of the buildings are vacant downtown. You go on up, you go into Bermanport. A lot of people don't know about Bermanport, the state in the city. Everybody's working to get that port going, but there's no investment in the Birmingham area, in the Ensley area, the Wylam area, or the Pratt City area. Um, and if you get off the Lower Nolan exit, that's the exit I always tell people where I know I make a difference being an elected official running for office. That when you get off that exit, a lot of people don't know when you turn right, you're still in Fairfield, which is a city adjacent to Birmingham. And there used to be a Subway, a Burger King. It's vacant. And then once you cross over, it's into Birmingham in the Wylam Ensley community. And you used to have a McDonald's, you used to have a Taco Bell, you have some Wingos, you have a Church's Chicken. All of that is closed. So one of the things I've been talking about is we need to work with the cities that are close to us, because nobody that has any real sense and gonna do anything. Fairfield is not gonna get anybody to invest in their vacant buildings, and Birmingham is not gonna get anybody to invest unless we work together, letting these new owners know that we're working together to bring something better to our areas.
So this is a question that I have for you.
So
Just after listening to the mayoral debate
can't
last
hear
week,
you.
can you hear me?
So
Did I lose you? Hello,
can't hear you.
I got you.
Something I don't hear you.
Try to sign out and
I hear
sign back
you.
right
I'm
back in.
froze.
While we resolve these technical difficulties, we will run another. We'll tell you talk. We'll dip in here a little bit and talk about our one of our many trips that we have. Again, as you guys know, we had our grown and sophisticated cruise, which happens in Cincinnati, and that cruise happens every year, and in 2026 is no different. That cruise is going to be coming up, and you guys do not want to miss it.
Oh yeah, Cupid.
All the way from Detroit, baby.
Chicago, baby. Flex your body. You're so sexy. Flex your body. You're so sexy. Slide to the right, slide to the left, right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Right foot, left foot, then turn with it. Now flex, come on, flex. Hey. Back it up, and turn to the left. Let's go.
All right, so
All right.
welcome back, everybody. We got Mr. Franklin back on live. All right, but again, everybody, y'all remember, go to the website, check out that event for next year. Just like voting, supporting YOLO Group Services is important as well. Our 11th annual all-white grown and sophisticated cruise that happens during Cincinnati Music Festival weekend. All right, so one of the questions I was trying to ask you as you were finishing up your opening statement was we heard a lot of the candidates last week at the mayoral debate focusing on Inslee and Pratt City. And Pratt City, as a lot of people know who are watching, is near and dear to my heart. So why is there so much focus from these candidates talking about Pratt City, but we don't see anything coming to Pratt City or Inslee, as you just
Let me be
mentioned?
straightforward. I've been running for about a year. That's all I've been talking about. I've been talking about and showing people. One of the things I always talk about is we have lacked the advocacy from the city council role for District 9. And the reason you're hearing the mayoral candidates, even our current mayor, he talked about it a little bit, is because I'm not just talking about it, I'm showing. But I'm also coming with a plan as a council person. I understand I can't make the recommendation, but I'm also smart enough to understand with my influence of being that council person, coming up with my ideas that the mayor, whomever it is, they have to step up. They have to step up for our areas. Every 4 years, what happens here in Birmingham, they begin to talk about promises in our neighborhoods and our communities. In the Inslee area, the Rams and McCormick, if you go back to 2018, it was a big part of the mayor's race then during that time. And we're in 2025, and guess what? We're still talking about Rams and McCormick. They've torn it down. They actually told us on August 4th or August 5th in the Inslee community, Inslee neighborhood meeting, I was actually there, that they would start working on Rams and McCormick building. They hadn't. They still have a fence up around it. One Pratt Park, I've been telling everybody in Pratt City, the park is not finished. And I want everybody to understand that money was promised by FEMA for Pratt City. And I want everybody that knows about the Pratt area to understand when I talk about that we have been neglected for so long, that if the tornado did not come through Pratt City, and we all, those of us that were living, understand before that how it looked. The only reason we have the things that we have that look new
is because that tornado came through. But we also know that they did not put all the funds there. The city did not match the funds for everything we were supposed to have. So when I've had people say, I built the park. No, Rich, it's not, that park was not going to be built. That was not some city idea. That was what FEMA came up with. President Obama said that during that time that he wanted Pratt City to be the model for the rest of the country. We dropped the ball here in Birmingham. So me running, when I bring up Pratt City, all I'm trying to tell people, if you know you live in this city, I remember about 15 to 20 years ago, Crestwood and Avondale were struggling neighborhoods. Crestwood actually had houses on the hood list. The first thing they did is they invested in their parks. Crestwood Park and Avondale Park are not even 2 miles from each other, but you saw huge investment. And now you have houses in the area that's thriving in both of those areas. So the reason I bring up the Pratt City area, that corner, that Avenue W, I have a vision that Avenue W will be just like any other corridor because all of us know it goes into Forestdale, it goes into Adamsville. And when you get into those areas, you see, well, not Forestdale anymore, they have some issues as well. But you go into Adamsville, you see it. But Birmingham, we have the population, we have enough people, not just in the Pratt area, where I live. When you get off Arkadelphia, when we go down, we touch the Pratt area. We all are in this together. We have enough population right now where we should not be living the way that we're living. And we have not had an elected official that represents us to the magnitude of what I'm saying. Everybody knows what I'm saying is the truth. What they have to do is decide whether they want better, somebody advocating for it, and also somebody that's going to come to the table and come back and say, okay, this is why they're saying we can't get it. But we have not had anybody since those tornadoes, if we would be honest with ourselves. Also, the Wylam area. People don't realize that the Wylam area has something that's very unique. It has a school, a new park, a newer park with no lights. I'll get back to that. They have a new library, and you have so often what disturbs me in our community is when it's an election season, the elected officials start building, talking about projects that are going to come, and then if that project comes to fruition, we don't get anything to 4 years later. If I asked everybody when COVID happened, and if you live in Huntsville, Montgomery, your cities, and Tuscaloosa, I know this for a fact because it was on the news. They didn't wait to election season to start spending their opera dollars. They were spending the money when it was given to them by the federal government. Birmingham has waited to the last minute and held it for election to the election season. We as the citizens, I'm a candidate, but the citizens, if we want better, we can do these things for 4 years every day. And if you live in District 9 and you want somebody fighting for you every day, I'm the candidate for you. But if you believe that everything is okay and you believe that nothing can be done, continue what you've been doing. But I will tell you, we're losing the battle. We are the district that has lost the most population. I always talk about Ensley, and I can just go through it to give people this vision because if you're from here, you know this. The Ensley area by Council School, Council is historical. I lived in that area. They used to flood real bad. They came through and said, "Hey, we're gonna fix the flooding. We're gonna tear the houses down, build new housing." Guess what? They ain't built one house. They claim they have a park. The scary part, they don't even cut the grass, and it just looked like we were never there. And once everybody that's on the streets that my family and friends that we knew growing up are gone, it would be like we were never there. So we lost population there. You go into the Pratt City area. This is part of my plan. Okay, we know the tornado hit. Once the tornado hit, we're years past, so those people are not coming back for their land and property. So in Southampton, which is beautiful, Westchester, which is beautiful, off Cherry Avenue, Smithfield Estates, these areas. So you have little pockets of, especially in Southampton, where the tornado hit, and it's time now where we go through those properties and we build back. We do things that don't make sense. The city of Hoover is building 5,000 houses right now. And one of the plans I tell people is we have to start doing what they do. And what I mean is I'm running in District 9. So I tell people I don't want to just build houses in District 9. I want to get the best bang for the buck. Let's come together as a council and mayor and build 4,000 houses in the city of Birmingham. Then we place them, then we get a better price. We get a true competition with the investors and the people that want to build. But it's just we're losing this battle when we went from 1 to 4. We have food deserts. We've made it where food boxes are acceptable for elected officials to pass out when they're not the ones that are passing that have the authority to pass it out. It's going to be some nonprofit tied to it. What we have to do and what I will do is fight for a grocery store. We can continue trying to do what we've been doing, but it's not working because we're in a food desert. And it was a time, but we were not in a food desert. Those of you that know, it was a time where Inslee had a store, Wylam had a store, and also off Arkadelphia we used to have a store. Now all those places unnamed don't have one store. Inslee has a store which is Marino's, but where it sits, the people from where I live, is so far away. We must also understand it's about economics. We have to do something where we bring jobs to our community. This ties into the crime that you see going on in Birmingham. Birmingham broke the record last year for the city of Birmingham. We've been around here. If you watch the mayor debate, they're going back and forth about whether crime is high or crime is down. But I always tell people, and I want the people in District 9 to really understand how my mind works. I always shoot for the top. Who's number one? Huntsville is number one. Huntsville last year had 18 murders. Huntsville the year before that had 19 murders. If you add both of their years up total, Birmingham is over every year. We are gonna think rank number 5 when they finish this year. But I also believe the difference in Huntsville and Birmingham is what Huntsville invests in, what Huntsville city government believes in. In Birmingham, we're doing a lot of talking. And in District 9, it affects our schools. Huntsville is growing while we're losing. Birmingham City Schools actually grew this year, but it grew because the school system had to change its mindset. This is me talking because I'm the union president. It took some years, but and I had a lot of influence with a lot of things of making them think differently. So I transitioned. That's why I'm running for city council. We have to think different. We have to care about everybody. And if you live in District 9, stop thinking about your neighborhoods because we all are suffering. It's not just Pratt City. It's not just North Birmingham. It's East Thomas, as you saw in the video. Let me say, I live in East Thomas. You saw what I live and come out every day. You heard me say I was cutting grass. You heard my neighbor say I was cutting grass. And it was a video that wasn't played. It was a senior citizen. She said she felt like I saved her life in the video. Okay,
It's
okay, I leave
coming.
that alone. They'll
It's
see it.
coming. It's
But
coming.
but my point is that because it's been this mindset with politicians in Birmingham that we, the citizens, have to do these things that the city government should be doing. And if people don't believe me, if you go to Fultondale, you go to Gardendale, you don't have to worry about cutting your neighbor's grass or overgrown lot. If you go to those areas, you don't have to worry about whether your child gonna have a rec center to play in. You don't have to worry about whether the park grass gonna be cut. You don't have to worry about whether the basketball goal's gonna have rims and nets on. You don't have to worry about whether the swimming pool is gonna be open. You don't worry about whether your city is going to invest in you. You don't worry about whether you lose city services because a lot of people are not talking about it. We used to get 2 days of trash pickup in Birmingham. We get one day now. And then we say the city is filthy. Well, maybe it's because and I don't know who made that decision, because the citizens didn't talk about it. That's the other thing I make a promise to. They tell me don't make promises when you're running, but I make this promise, District 9. I'm not voting for anything that you tell me you don't want. It doesn't matter what the neighborhood is. That's what we got to get back to. Because if you move over the mountain, if you move into those areas, they tell their politicians what they want. And if the politicians don't vote the way they told them what they wanted, they're going to get them out of office. Only in Birmingham do we allow the politicians to tell us that the conditions we living in is progress. Only in Birmingham do we let them tell us that, hey, let me finish what I started to do. But we cannot point to one thing in District 9 in our neighborhoods that we see. And I'm not talking about an amphitheater because when they originally started with that in Protective Stadium, it was in District 5. I'm talking about District 9. I'm talking about North Birmingham. The North Birmingham school has been sitting vacant since 2012. I'm talking about District 9, where we have one Pratt Park that the park doesn't even have mulch in it right now. I'm talking about Wylam that has a little league football team that's one of the best little league football teams in Alabama, but they don't have lights. Make this stuff make sense. This doesn't make any sense because everything I just named, that they move into another city, they're going to have these amenities before they buy their house. So that's why we losing the competition.
So let me ask you this question: you get elected as councilman of District 9, how do you bring the, because it's going to take more than you to make these things happen, but how do you bring these other council members, and let's just say that Woodfin is still the mayor, because
Yeah.
let's be honest, it is difficult to unseat an incumbent unless that incumbent is just highly unpopular, and Woodfin is not, it's not like he's
Right.
unpopular in Birmingham. In the areas in which he I would say underserves, they don't vote, which is a big problem.
Right.
But
Right.
how do you bring, let's just say, Woodfin and these other council members to the table to say, we not only do we have to lift up District 9, but we have to lift us all up, because if one sinks, the rest of us sinks. Right now, the feeling is that, you know, the or
Yeah.
downtown and what an amphitheater is, all that, those places are booming. But like you said, Crestwood and Avondale, those places have come up. But how does Councilman Franklin bring these people to the table to
So
work
so I
together?
think first we have to already look. If you watch the mayor's debate, and if you're watching a lot of the people that's running for city council, they're already talking about Pratt City, Ensley. So I've already done that part. So I think they're already at the table. I think first you have to get everybody to understand the conditions that we're living in. But also in working together, we have to devise a plan. So the plan that I've always told them I will set the model for District 9. It's not that I have all the answers, but I also have to be a leader. You have to step out. And we have not had that. So I think that everybody acknowledges that there are issues now. But I also think that the difference is when I get in office, they know that they're gonna have to deal with me for 4 years. And I'm gonna also look out for what's the best interest for the city of Birmingham when I make votes and when I do things. For example, even though the Crossplex is not in District 9, it is in District 8. So one of the things I would tell people that we're doing that doesn't make sense in Birmingham is that we're building entertainment and building facilities that the city of Birmingham does not own. But the things that the city of Birmingham owns, i.e., Legion Field, the Classic, where we can make $26 million off one event, we invest money in Protective Stadium. While it sits in our city, we don't get all the resources that we should get. So there's been this big argument. So Richard is not saying get rid of Protective Stadium. What I'm saying is that when everybody buys a home, you wouldn't take care of somebody else's house without taking care of your house. And then if you don't take care of your house and your house starts falling apart, it's because you invest, not that you don't have the money, you invested in somebody else's house. So that's what's happening in Birmingham. All the entertainment venues around us, it makes Birmingham look like it's booming. But when you walk into our neighborhoods, there's not 1% of that money that's being invested into our neighborhoods. Um, so I think when I say those things, it brings everybody to the table. But also, I've talked to every candidate, from the mayor candidates all the way to all the council candidates, because I believe that when you start day one, you don't just start trying to build relationships when you get in. You have to start now. I can tell the people of District 9, I'm the only candidate that's done that, that's running in District 9. I'm also the only candidate that can tell you what happened with the Birmingham Waterworks, because I drove down spending my dollar, so I ain't have to listen to somebody lie and tell me a story. I was there. I've had people tell me, "Hey, it's like you already on the council." But let me tell you the other thing that we're missing big time. We don't know how to really work together. Not about getting along, but using our positions as leverage. In District 9, we have two county commissioners that, hey, my county commissioner is Commissioner Sheila Tyson. In the Pratt City area, the county commissioner is Commissioner LaShonda Scales. Guess what? Richard Franklin would do projects working with them in conjunction, not just doing a party or something in the park. I'm talking about doing true investments with the resources that the county commissioners have. I also work with our state representatives and our state senators. We're not leveraging that. You're seeing things because we're not coming together. And I think the model has to start in District 9 And then I think it's already started just with the conversation. You're hearing people talk about Ensley. You heard every mayor candidate talk about Ensley and Pratt
Mm-hmm.
City. And if anybody
That's
be
right.
honest, even if you for another candidate, everybody knows until Richard Franklin started running his mouth, nobody talked about it. Nobody truly talked about North Birmingham. Talk about North Birmingham schools. We have federal dollars, and they did a article the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and said, hey, they waiting gonna wait to 2028. No, not under my watch. We're gonna finish product. We're gonna finish projects. That's the other issue that we have. Ramsey McCormick, I made this promise, made this statement that if they don't start building that building before I get in office, we're gonna put a historic plaque up and we're gonna divide those millions of dollars up, and we're gonna work with those business owners in the community that are surrounding from Pratt City to Ensley to Wylam. And you also have Sherman Heights, all those areas up there. They have been neglected. Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about Oak Ridge Park. They don't even talk about these areas. They don't talk about Dolomite. Dolomite is in Birmingham. There's not been true
Mm-hmm.
investment in these areas. But I also got to say, in my area, East Thomas, Enid Ridge, there is no investment. We have to have a true housing plan. We should not just be tearing down houses, and then when the lots get overgrown, we start talking about, hey, we spending too much money. No, every time when we knock down lots, we know where the vacant lots are. We need to immediately, before we knock them down, be dealing with an investor talking about building the house back. We can do that if we want to. That is the thing, the common sense approach that I would bring to everybody. But I will also tell you, I'm also working with other people that are running for council. And it's a lot of people. And they all are in agreement with me. And I'm just the person that have the big mouth, the person that knows how to say it. And I'm willing to work with anybody. I have a passion for not just District 9, but the entire city of Birmingham. And a lot of people don't understand my passion comes from growing up in Ensley, remembering that we didn't have to leave Ensley, we didn't have to leave Pratt, we didn't have to leave Wylam if we didn't want to. We had everything in those neighborhoods. So now to go back and watch, we don't have anything. And I also say my
Yep.
grandmother, my great grandmother, Marcel Dansby. I always tell this, and a lot of people know this. She was the first African American woman to have a business in downtown Ensley during the time where it was not easy. And she had a beauty salon. And I remember the only building that looked bad that was vacant was Ramsey McCormick. So now I think I said it the first time I was on here. I was born in 1981. The city bought Ramsey McCormick for $1. They've been playing with developers since 1983. And now we're sitting here in 2025, touring the building down. And if you just look it up, people, and you don't live in Birmingham, they're talking about we're going to start on Ramsey McCormick. That is insanity. That doesn't make any sense. But I also understand how money goes and money flows. In District 9, what people have to understand is that means money has been allocated since 1983 for this project. So that means all the neglect that we see, if you add the years up, there had been money or resources because they've been saying they're going to do Ramsey McCormick. So that's why I immediately said, if they don't get this thing built, we're going to put a historical plaque that it was there, but we're going to free this money up. And we're going to do something in the Ensley area, in the Pratt City area, and also the Wylam area. I'm just naming it's a lot of neighborhoods, but I just
So,
wanted to say those because
right.
they've been neglected for a long time.
So, one of my questions that I've had for a long time, and you may be familiar with, is Larry Langford came in and just turned Birmingham on its head when his first he said, I'm gonna clean the city up in the first 28 days, and he literally got elected and immediately put sanitation to work. And I'm not talking about
Right.
in Irondale or in Crestwood. He Ensley, Pratt City, these areas that you're talking about, he sent these people Powderly. He sent these workers in and they cleaned up a lot in 28 days. And anybody who knows Larry Langford, he had a lot of big ideas. He was a mayor of Fairfield. When he was mayor of Fairfield actually looked like a
Yeah.
major city. It didn't look like just pass through town. He was the brainchild of what used to be. Oh man, can't think of it. It was Alabama's version of Six Flags. As he would always say, why are people in Alabama going to Six Flags when we can have our own
Right.
Vision Land? That's what it was called, Vision Land. And then he ran for mayor of Birmingham and won out of 10 candidates without a runoff. and he had a very advantageous plan. One of them was he put in a tax, and I'm not sure if he put the tax in or somebody else put it in before him. But it was called a MAPS tax. The MAPS tax was put on. It was an extra penny, something, something, something. It was supposed to help with building a
Yeah.
dome stadium. Of course, they jammed up Larry Langford. He ended up going to jail. Threw him. He basically resigned from office or was removed from office. But I think that MAPS tax is still in place. So as councilman, would you go in and try to identify what? Because there are a lot of taxes in Birmingham that were
Yeah.
put in place, like you talk about back in the '80s and the '90s, where they keep renewing every
I
year.
mean,
But that money is going to like a black hole because again, a dome stadium supposed to come to Birmingham a long time ago. You got protective. No money's going into Leisure Field, and Leisure Field could be a major moneymaker. I tell people all the time, if the Rose Bowl is still making money, Leisure Field can make money because Leisure Field is if not the same amount more history
so so so
than
I
the
think
Rose
Larry
Bowl.
Langford what made him a great visionary is that he looked. I remember him talking about Birmingham, and I hope all the leaders that are in office that represent Birmingham or any African American city. I just want to say this is that I don't get upset with the BJCC authority that's separate from the city of Birmingham because they're looking out for their interests. Well, Larry Langford looked out for Birmingham's interests. That is what the difference is. And you saw him. He knew that hey, because a lot of people don't realize how the Crossflex was built. He knew that he could go in and we could build it. And I remember him getting on TV saying it, and he did it. And it didn't take him forever to be. It didn't take him forever to build it. And that's what the citizens of Birmingham have to understand. It's politics and it's politics, and then it's a reality. We must realize that when it comes to our communities, you have to elect people who are willing to stand up and look out for the best interests of Birmingham. The entities that are already here, they're going to be here, but we don't have to be spending our tax dollars. Some of this stuff that has never made sense to me. Why are we spending $3 million per year on the stadium we'll never own, but we don't put $3 million a year in Legion Field to do anything with? We don't even spend $3 million out of our local revenue in the Smithfield community. We had to go apply for a federal grant and we celebrate that. But we make $26 million. If we took $1 million for the next 10 years and invested in our neighborhoods, we would do a lot. But I'm gonna tell you something that people also forget. I think it was 2018 when they built Protective Stadium. There was supposed to be a neighborhood revitalization fund that was set up. I saw the council and I think the council and the mayor this year switch some of those funds and put it somewhere else. So we have some things that are set up where we can put money into our neighborhoods. And you just talked about something. If people don't believe what Richard's saying, that means Larry Langford didn't come in and go in and change a lot of ordinances. He didn't go in and just change a lot of stuff. He did what we had on the books. So we just have to have five
Right.
council people with the will to make a stand, even if it's the mayor we have now. We're gonna vote no. I tell people all the
So
time,
how?
we're gonna vote no on the budget.
So what is all the hype about the mayor
Well,
council
it was
act?
changed under when Mayor William Bell was in.
William Bell.
And I look at it a little different. Yes, it was changed. I didn't agree with it, but I also you got to remember the council had more power back then to do some things. But we're the legislative branch and the mayor's the executive branch. And me working with the school system, the school board has never had the power. Any school board, it doesn't matter what, they never had the power that the Birmingham City Council had. They could not go in and change budgets. But what I saw the Birmingham School Board do, and some people would say they were ineffective, but I would say they're effective in their role. They would vote no. And I've seen them over the years when they vote no, the superintendent will come back and will negotiate with the board and what they want. The city council since 2018 has not leveraged. They've really neglected their duty of one of their responsibilities. They have this notion that if they vote no, you're being an obstructionist against the mayor. So this is the thing, them not knowing what their role is. If we voted no on the budget, because I know somebody would say, what if you gonna vote no on the budget? I used to work with the city budget will continue, it will roll back to the previous year budget until they do a budget. So none of the city's functions will stop. So they need to understand that. They also need to understand a lot of the things, neighborhood funds for neighborhood officers. At one time, it was, I think it was $10,000. I think it went down to $5,000. Now it's down to $2,000. I said this at a forum the other week. They said, Richard, what would you do? Vote no on the budget because it's in the budget. This budget this year passed unanimously, so the things that we're talking about, road paving, if you drive through the city, we have an issue. There should be more money put in road paving. It's just things that we as a council we're neglecting when you're voting for things unanimously. I just don't understand it. And it's not that I have an issue personally with the mayor. It's just that if you're elected by the people and you live in a area, you have to represent your area. Now, let me be fair. May not be the same issue that they have on the south side. So I wouldn't expect a representative on the south side to agree with what I'm saying. But I would expect a representative
Right.
that represents District 6, District 7, District 8, and I would be District 9 to understand where I'm coming from, because we're all having
Hmm.
similar issues. So that's what I mean when they're neglecting their duty. When it comes to park and recs, yes, the park and rec of the city of Birmingham is a separate entity, but the council and mayor is in the budget. We're the people that put that money over there. So when people are talking about the pools are not open, guess what? The city council needs to put more money in the budget and the mayor if that's what they want to do for swimming pools and for park and recs. The part that hurt me the hardest is using to work for park and recs to sit back and watch our senior citizens have to go to exercise classes at One Pratt Park. At North Birmingham, they go to North Birmingham Library. And you see the state representatives putting money in, and some of the council people are putting money in. No, Richard's gonna bring common sense back. If you have a line item that says park and rec, that means we need to put more money in the budget to make sure that the exercise classes are at every park, at every rec center. They have a plan right now to tear down McAlpine Rec Center. I think I spoke on that before. They want to turn it to a senior citizen
Hmm.
facility. They want to take Ensley Rec and tear it down and make it some kid center. I am against that. I am totally against it, because guess what? I understand the history of our rec centers. I understand especially McAlpine why it was built. I also understand we have a swimming pool there, and people that are old and know what I'm finna say is the truth. They cemented up Tuxedo Pool. They cemented up Inslee Pool because they didn't want us to swim. So why would we take away McAlpine, especially with that swimming pool that provides service to that entire area? If you're
That's right.
not talking about building a swimming pool at Inslee, you're just talking about a kid center, which I also say doesn't make sense because you have 20th Street that's right there. So how would the kids that are on the opposite side get over there? I think we have to understand, not we should not be cutting from families and children. We should find somewhere else to cut. We should cut if we have to cut salaries of some of the people that work for the mayor. They make 100 and some thousand, I mean $179,000. They make good money. We don't hear them saying cut that. I'm not advocating for cutting it, but I'm saying the last thing I would advocate for as a council person is cutting for things that could help our children. Because especially for a child that has a bad home situation, that means you've taken the option away from them, so they won't be so they won't have an option to be on off streets. I think that's what's been hurting us, because we've kind of been de-investing in our rec centers. We're not making sure. They've been saying we don't have workers, so guess what you do? You pay them more money. You said we don't have city workers, you pay them more money. I mean, let's be fair about it. Anybody that's at the top, the people that work for them, they get paid more money. So if you're paying the people on the bottom less money, of course they're not working. They can go work at Amazon part time and make more money now.
With that being said, and I'm with you 100% on that. If you talk about, being on the ground and doing this work, and yeah, everybody has a right to earn a living, but that doesn't mean that you get to live rich while everybody
Right,
else is eating
right.
scraps. I'm gonna play this last clip, and then we're gonna go. We're getting running out of time. We're gonna go to your final words
Okay.
for tonight.
District 9, we're sitting in the East Thomas community, sitting with one of our neighbors, Miss Valeria. Miss Valeria, how long have you been living over here?
I've been living over here. I don't know how many years. It's been so long.
And you also grew up in Enid Ridge, didn't you?
Right, I did. A few blocks from here.
You've seen a lot of change in this area, right?
A lot of change. It's like a different place.
I know right across to the right, we have a vacant house. And then we also have that overgrown lot. Then we also have an overgrown lot to the left of you. How does it, make you feel, growing up, seeing it when it was better and living in this now?
Well, it had me feeling bad, but due to the fact you must have seen what effect it had on my mind, because I'm not used to living like this, what it was. And you came back with some people to cut the grass, and now I feel better. I don't have having to look at that grass when I'm sitting outside and having to see all that. Cause you keep somebody here to cut the grass, and I'm thankful to you, sir. I'm very thankful.
Well, we're neighbors, and I'm running for city council,
Yes.
and I just want the people to know that I take care of my people near me, and I want to take care of the district, but we also got to let everybody know that they have been neglecting us. And we have to take money. I have to take money out of my own pocket to make sure my neighbors are fine. I don't have a problem with it, but the city should be providing these services. I just wanted to stop by and talk to you. You know I love you and care about you.
Yes.
And I know we got to do something right now about this vacant house next to you.
But you should not have all of this on your back and shoulders. The city's supposed to do what they're supposed to do. You shouldn't have to come out your pocket to try to get things straight and everything. But one thing for sure, we need somebody like you in office, in that position. I hope you will. I'm going to vote for you. I'm telling everybody I'm wearing the shirts. I'm telling everybody what a good person you would representative you would be and everything by wearing your shirts and by just telling them that if you vote for this person, you're gonna have somebody to help you.
I thank you, Miss Valeria, for taking
Thank you so
time out your
much.
day.
Thank you so much, and I love you too, like you love me.
Yes, ma'am. Love you.
Now, when I watch that video, it takes me back to my days in Pratt City when we had Miss Bunny, we had Bell. You had these members of your community that you saw them getting older. And I understand where you come from when you say, I see this needs to be cut. So let me cut it. But here's a question, and include this in your final words. Um, your there are a lot of communities in Birmingham, but I know you're gonna be representing District 9. Drive home what separates you from the rest of these candidates, and you have the floor.
I'm doing the work right now. A lot of people are not doing the work right now. I have a passion for District 9 in Birmingham, but I don't just have a passion, I have solutions. I am ready to represent District 9. I'm ready to provide hope, but I'm also ready to work with everybody and let us come together. I cannot solve all the issues by myself, but with everybody coming together in these 19 neighborhoods, we will be the example for the rest of the neighborhoods, especially on the western and the northern side of town, of where we can come together and be a model. And I believe once that's done with my leadership, and also once that's done with the other council people, and also we will bring along the mayor. We will bring Birmingham back from being number 4 to number 1. Uh, because if you look at District 9, we're the area that has lost the most population. And I know a lot of people have lost hope. I know that they've been lied to, but I'm not a candidate or a person that will lie to you. I will fight for you. I will tell you the truth. And if something can't be done, I would explain why it can't be done and when it will be done. So I want everybody to understand that I'm not running for me. I'm running for us. This is not just about us. This is about our grandchildren and our great grandchildren's future. This is about the future of some of our neighborhoods that I truly believe if that we don't get it right, they will be gone and we will be looking at pictures and talking about history. But if you elect me, I will make sure I work with you. I will make sure I speak up for you. But more than anything, I will represent you with integrity, with emotions, but more than anything, with the attitude of unity. And on August 26th, if you take your time and vote for Richard Franklin, we would do this together, and the next 4 years would be amazing. Man,
I
phone
want to
did
take
it.
this time to personally thank you for again coming on to speak to our YOLO family. Shout out to William Marshall, Tashima, Chad Johnson, all those who have joined us, Marche, all these people who have joined and jumped on to listen to you. And these people have friends in Birmingham, particularly in District 9, and I'm asking all of you to reach out to those friends and family and tell them to get active and don't just take this interview's word for it, but you can take the actions in which he presented to you tonight, where he is actually
I can't
already
hear you.
doing the work, and go out to the polls. I think when I looked up the polls, there were 15. I think there are 15 polling stations in Birmingham. Let's get out, people. You guys know me when it gets to talking about it. You guys know me. Let's get out. Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's vote. Make those votes count. Again, as you heard me talk about earlier, there's so many cases where, in particular, we're talking about Birmingham, but across this country, where you have a place that is underrepresented and they continue to be underrepresented because people don't exercise their right to vote. So let's do our part and go vote. Thank you again to Mr. Richard Franklin Jr., who is running for Birmingham City Council District 9. You guys make sure you go and check him out. Go to the polls. Tell your friends and family. I feel like he's a great candidate. YOLO doesn't endorse anybody or anything like that, because we would have let anybody come on here. But me personally, I like Richard Franklin Jr. myself. And if I was a resident in Birmingham, still a resident in Birmingham, in that area, he would definitely get my vote. So remember, my opinion does not represent the opinion of YOLO Group Services and its affiliates and all that stuff like that. Let me put that in there. All right, folks. Until next week, I hope your homes have more peace, more joy, and more love. Thank you guys again for joining us for Travel Talk Tuesday. Remember, every Tuesday we're here live, talking travel and more. Go to the website, check out our many events, and we will see you all next Tuesday. Make sure you go to Mixcloud and check out our mixes as well. Those are going to be start being updated every other month as well. So be on the lookout for those as well. You guys have a great night.